I done that, but I don't mix motherfucking codeine into my motherfucking Hennessy and shit. Damn, the fuck? You trying to sleep all day and work? God damn.
Hey, Bono, that shit was funny though. Whenever Go came in the room yesterday, that was hilarious. I ain't never seen nobody just successfully beat up on someone. Like that was just 10 out of 10.
Who got beat up, Go?
Yeah.
For her astrology shit.
Like a normal terrorist, like we're
Bro,
seeing
everybody was in on it.
Hey guys, I've seen you snap on Gold a couple times. What that girl be saying some crazy shit? Like I've never heard her talk too much, but I've seen you snap on her like she be on some satanic shit. Yeah, she just be too open with her shit, like just be sensitive. She just be all over the place, just chaos. She never land on nothing. And she's like mad demanding when she comes in too. So I just be listening to her. I just jump on. Yesterday she came on and she started like trying to referee the whole astrology shit. What the fuck out of here with that demonic shit? It's
Gato?
Yo,
Hola.
¿cómo está, amigo?
Nada.
¿Todo bien?
Huh?
¿Todo bien?
Sí. It is all.
Okay, Dede, I see you.
What's the dealie? What's up, Mondo?
what do you do?
Mondo. What's up, Leia and Love and Keeser? Peace be unto y'all.
Peace.
Fuck you. I didn't get a shout out.
Who didn't get a shout out? My bad, I missed somebody.
Hello, Pretty Penny. We met yesterday. How are you?
Here we go.
Gato.
What up, though?
They're really converting Cass to be Muslim.
Hi.
Hola.
I hope everybody's good and having a blessed Sunday.
Yes, ma'am. I'll leave it for later, Gato.
Yeah, leave that for later. I don't mind the smoke. But right now ain't a good time.
It's never a good time.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
Yeah, where did you go, Gato?
I'm in my car right now.
He drove onto a mountain hill made out of sand.
No, I'm riding around the city making some money, but I'm on vacation from the smoke.
Oh, you have turned your back on Allah now. Oh, you on
No,
vacation from
sir.
God? Yeah, that's
No,
what
sir.
you said. Yeah, that's what you said.
No,
Pretty,
I
isn't
just-
that what you heard? That's what I heard.
I just don't want no smoke right now.
You don't got time for Allah. I get it though. Sometimes, a man be going through those things, man. Sometimes God gets a little tired.
I'm looking for Dave Portnoy. Come on,
I don't know what you mean.
I don't think God will ever be tired.
He gets tired in the Bible, but like,
You don't think we get tired of God?
oh,
Oh, then yeah, some people,
Where's his
yes. But if
boyfriend?
you truly claim that you love God, then you will not be tired of God.
There's some conversations that could go days on end. That gets me tired.
If it's that, then yes.
And we do have some speakers this evening.
I think
first one is Alex
you were born as a
Scott.
female. Like that conversation is retarded. Like it just always goes in circles.
Hello, Council. My name's Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I have a little presentation for you today. I have a little
I
audio
don't believe the
accompaniment.
moon rules the woman's menstruation. He is the most
yeah,
superstitious.
you ain't never heard me say nothing like that.
You don't believe that? Oh, okay.
Man, what's wrong with this cat, man? He just gonna randomly pick me out to say some BS like that.
It's too much detail though.
And you ran the lady off. I know that dude. You don't want to go to the club with this dude. He run all the ladies off. You know, weird.
Yeah, you think I'm flirting with them?
I can't tell.
Well, you don't want that boy that we had in here yesterday to come in here, Gato.
What happened?
Your boy was getting chopped up. Amir.
No, y'all did him the same way y'all do me. Y'all ask the most silly questions. Then as soon as somebody get ready to answer, 5, 6 of y'all come off, might cut them off. And then, no, you don't do no chopping. You just making noise.
Is that not an effective strategy?
No. Not if you are trying to spread the truth. If you're just making noise just to be making noise, then yeah. If you're trying to spread what you believe to be true, nah.
And find the right balance into their.
I didn't know you were a religious, Kaiser.
He does that.
Not religious. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Jew hater.
Sword 19:19. He responded, I am only the messenger from your Lord, sent to bless you with a pure son. She wondered, how can I have a son when no man has ever touched me, no I am unchaste? He replies, so will it be. Your Lord says it is easy for me, and so you will make him a sign for humanity and a mercy from us. It is a matter already, a decree. So she conceived him and withdrew with him into a remote place. Then the pains of labor drove her to the trunk of a palm tree. She cried, alas, alas, alas. I know you're going to say that she said she cried a lot, but it says alas. I wish I had died before this and was a thing long forgotten. So a voice reassured her from below her, do not grieve, your Lord has provided a stream at your feet. And shake the trunk of this palm tree towards you. It will drop fresh, ripe dates upon you. So eat and drink and put your heart at ease. This is Allah talking to the Virgin Mary. But if you see that any people say I have vowed silence to the most compassionate, so I am not talking to anyone today. Then she returned to her people carrying him. They said in shock, oh Mary, you have certainly done a horrible thing. O sister of Aaron, your father was not an indecent man, nor was your mother unchaste. Was the Virgin Mary sisters with Aaron, Moses' brother?
No.
But your Quran calls her old sister of Aaron.
Right.
Because your Quran confused it with Miriam, Moses' sister, with the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
This is a
No,
big
you're
error
confused.
in your Quran. We will deal with this later.
Reverend Jesse Lee
But
You're confused.
you would have to denounce your entire erroneous Quran.
Hey, that's what you coming with. It's gonna be easier said than done.
You said no. She is not the sister of Aaron, but your Quran says she is.
Why black women
Right.
are so mean. This man, Reverend Jesse Peterson, says that if all whites were to leave America in 10 years, black folk would turn America into a ghetto. This man, Penn came out and says he had to change.
Oh, yeah, I'm over here. I'm driving right now.
About
Okay.
blacks turning the United States
Man,
of
I got some
America
money to
into
talk
a
about.
ghetto in 10 years. He says in light of what he
What's
saw
gas is
in
that
the
over there?
aftermath of
Yeah.
Katrina, he
Say
now
what?
knows from what he can see at the Superdome, blacks would turn the United States of
Say it
America
again?
into a ghetto if all whites left
What's the price
in
of
3
gas over
days.
Too much.
You're an asshole.
By nature.
You're only an asshole because of your profit. As soon as you drop that, you'll become a... I have it at 289 over here.
Nice. You hear the speaker now, Peter?
Hey, did somebody turn off the replays in the room last night?
Why is that? I didn't log in.
I don't see it. Because they had like I know there was way more than what I'm seeing on here. It definitely ain't the same rooms that I'm looking at. The one last night had like 30, 40 people at once, you know what I mean? It got real crazy last night.
Yeah, it's this one, though. Why do you hate Americans, right?
Yeah, but see, it says only 18. Only says 18 on there. Oh wait, I might be chill.
Got 138.
Oh shit, how do you know that? What the fuck?
Don't run, Gato. Your time is coming, Gato.
Hey, that Nunu brought a bunch of people to the apes though, vibing. Cause like right after that whole ordeal, after that big room, I had like 30 friend requests from a bunch of people that was in the room. I was like, oh yeah, we just plucked a lot out of them. And when she left, a lot of them stayed till like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
And laughing, too.
They loved it. They were like, I don't know what this place is, but shit, I'm glad I found out.
After who, though? Who was in here?
They were all following Nunu. I guess Nunu was like a popular person. That like she brought in like 15 people. The next thing you know, there's like 30 people in one room, just like in the like 20 in the audience. I was like, what the fuck? And they're all like they're all talking about this little triple relationship thing going on. The dude's all being quiet. But he put in the comment, he's like, what the fuck? All the paparazzi wants to come in here as soon as they talk about this. That shit really did feel like some paparazzi. I know Sandra. I think Sandra was getting pissed off though at the whole thing that was going on.
frequency.
Which self we're in, or which set of selves we're in, and that's incredibly valuable. And Jim has said in the long run that book, Your Symphony of Cells, will be more valuable and important to people than the microdosing book. So we'll just have to see how that all pans out.
Art, can I ask you?
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, just to Jordan, I'm in total agreement with everything you said there. And there was an interview with Noam Chomsky where he gave a very similar answer to this question about free will. And like, even if it doesn't exist scientifically, it's better to act as if it does. But he also made the additional point that science can never get to the bottom of that question because there's always a prior cause to anything you point to, which is interesting. But yeah, Yoni, for sure.
Oh, thank you. When you were talking about being in a room and one wing is talking, maybe you said Democrat or Republican, then you respond the opposite. What was that you called it? Some kind of discourse?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned Socrates, I've always felt a lot of resonance with that dialectic idea. Yeah,
He said integral. He used the word integral.
Integral as well. Yeah. So I combined. But the dialectic apparently I learned recently does come from Hegel. Socrates didn't use the word thesis, antithesis, leading to synthesis, but that's all describing the same thing. That if everyone's just in agreement in a group, then nothing grows, nothing evolves. There's no novelty, no insight. But if there's good faith conversation with someone with an opposing view, then there's a possibility for both people, for everyone to benefit from some novel insight.
Which is why in his essay on liberty, John Stuart Mill goes so far out of his way to saying you can't really stop people from airing their view. That's a mistake. It's a great essay. If you haven't read On Liberty lately, it's worth reading.
I will. Thanks, Joe.
What I wanted to go with next is a sympathetic frequency that Jordan explained in a different way. That when you strike a chord, a C chord, or any chord for that matter, on a piano, across the room there'll be another piano, and the C string will start to vibrate. It's called sympathetic frequency. Our frequencies are picked up by people who have the same frequency inside of them. So my question really is, in your own thought processes, do you have a thought and then opposing points of view in your own thought processes? Do you have the same sort of discussions in your own head over your own thoughts, Mr. Art?
Yeah, I do. Although I don't really enjoy that as much as I enjoy lively, just embodied conversation with another human.
You don't feel alone, but that you're striking that C chord, you're striking in other people. That discourse that you're having that is contrary to your thoughts, or that challenges your thoughts, it's called cognitive dissonance. And so, like I was saying before, we seek what we have inside. And so people, and I'm not accusing you, or if I make you uncomfortable, just say, Yoni, shut up, you're stupid. I'm okay with that. But a lot of times people are living in an uncomfortable, hellish place in their own thoughts. And rarely is it a heavenly realm in our minds. And people tend to be more comfortable seeking out a familiar hell rather than an unfamiliar heaven because they're used to it. So just, if nothing else, realize that the same discourse you have with yourself, you're seeking out with other people. And just I'm autistic, so my brain processes things different. And if that was just a little bit too insane, I'm okay with that. Insane to me is within the bounds of sanity, and it's a beautiful place to be. I am quite insane.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not calling you insane. Thank you, Yoni. You sound quite sane to me. Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really interesting point you're making. You know, just on the musical metaphor, you know, I'm also a musician, and I would say, you know, what makes music far more beautiful than just a major or minor chord is when you add some of the upper extensions, you know, like you add a major seventh to the C chord, you add a B into it, and then you get, you know, the most dissonant interval, which is the minor second in a different context. It adds this complexity of beauty. And then the more unusual minor chord with a major seventh in it, called the major minor chord, that also has such a haunting beauty that evokes, you know, mystery and wonder, you know, intrigue, just indescribable emotion, you know, especially compared to just the basic, you know, minor or major third with the fifth added. And so, yeah, but actually, I don't have conversations with myself or that much cognitive dissonance around. It's not like that. I just really value evolution of thought and conditions of stuff, and so I'm a very curious person. So I just I'll just seek out different, you know, sources of information to, you know, see if that could be helpful, if I think it might be helpful for me.
I wasn't implying that it's of a clinical level, but that aspect in you is seeking that out and drawing your attention to the outside. I'm not saying that you're full of cognitive dissonance, but observing you and listening to you and seeing how pleasant you are, that aspect of you is in opposition to your true self. And it's expressing itself with other people. It's a place in you that you don't like. It's a place that feels lonely and it wants company. You know that story about the good wolf and the bad wolf? There's two wolves inside of us that are fighting for our lives. One is full of love, beauty, forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. And the other is lust, greed, power, and control. And the little boy asks his mom.
Yoni, I'm taken aback by your evaluation of my psyche. I don't understand why you're doing that. That feels over the line to me, in a public setting especially.
Yes, I apologize.
Well, yeah, it's confusing. I don't know what lonely place inside of me you're describing. That seems very just over the line for me. I was just describing my preferences. I mean, the only other thing I'd say is just that, you know, like I gave that presentation a couple months ago about the Enneagram, you know, which is one way to look at different, you know, tendencies of personalities. And I resonate a lot as a 4. And then there's more specificity within that. And, you know, but basically the 4 is going to be, you know, more of an individual than other people, and to a fault, because it's not the best thing to be so much of an individual you can't relate to anyone, you know. But yeah, and that's also why, yeah. And I also love astrology. That gives another lens to this that I was thinking of when Jordan was talking too. You know, it's just, I mean, to me, the beauty of human personality and interest and is the same as the beauty of nature itself. It's multiplicity itself. You know, that all of us are one of one, you know, in this, and yet we're all one as the Big Bang banging. So, but anyway, Yoni, you know, no offense taken. I just wanted to put up a boundary there because that seemed a little too much for me. But I appreciate your thoughts.
I appreciate that. I'm autistic and I tend to do that, and I do appreciate it when people tell me I crossed the boundary, because most people just write me off as rude. So thank you for that, and I'll stop.
Well, yeah, my brother and father have both been autistic, you know, or are. My dad's passed away, and my brother's alive. I'm very familiar, and you know, thank you, Yoni. I appreciate you.
I just want to give love to the both of you for really modeling beautiful energy and exchange there, and also share that. Because I can only speak from my perspective and how things have been on the ground of my life and my mind, which I have a pretty spicy brain, pretty spicy mind, which for most of my life was really parasitic for me. I mean, my mind was a horrible place to be most of my life. And I suffered and really hurt myself in so many ways, sabotage myself in so many ways, because my mind was such a painful place to be. And I had an awakening, and through that awakening became aware of, and within my mind in a very alive and present way that I wasn't before then. And I am the one having conversations with myself. My mind is very much alive. I have, you know, when Jordan talks about the multiplicity of selves, I live that. I have many selves that I know within me, that I'm dialoguing with, that I need to constantly check myself. If my mind were left unchecked, I have a natural tendency for intrusive thoughts and negative thinking. If I allowed that to go without being checked or moderated, I would be back in that very painful space. So I have to be the one who's within me going, is this thought that I'm having even true? Is it real? Is that voice in my head me? I'm constantly having to check myself for those cognitive biases, for the ways that I might be bypassing and shortcutting my mind or my shadows. Oh, man. Whew, I was ruled by my shadows, right? And now at least, and they're still here. My mind still is spicy and, you know, does wild things and painful things towards me too. None of that has changed. The only difference is I'm home. Like, I'm awake. I'm inside of myself, and I'm watching, and I'm observing, and I'm super highly tuned into what's happening in my inner world all the time. And I think that might be the only way really to, you know, and also, like, we're, you know, talking about not just only the potential for many selves, but also knowing that we have within us the potential to be many selves. And you learn that by going inside. I learned that by going inside and in meeting that ugly part of myself. Meeting that ugly part of myself that is just like, I don't want to look at it, but it's there, and I need to go spend some time with it. And then guess what? I see it in the world. And instead of going, oh, look at that ugly thing in the world, I go, nope. I go, nope. I know that lives in me too. So I just think having this active, very active relationship with our inner world is essential. It has been for me. It is for me the difference between mental health and having some kind of a life that I can, feel hopeful in, and not that relationship with myself. It's that important.
Jen, I so relate with you. With me, it's the exact same, different words. Is I realize that my brain is more like a computer, and it's not really who I am. I'm the mind. The mind for me is like the parent. The child is affected by all the programs that it has been programmed with and the pains that are alive in it. And for much of my life, I never identified with anything other than I am the brain and the thoughts. But I'm not. I'm the mind that's above it. And when I was detached, I had no con. But once I realized that I'm not the brain, I'm the mind, what was unconscious to me became conscious. And in my case, like yours, but I explain it like this, is that I connected with my Divine Mother inside of me, this mind that calms the brain. The brain is like the child that had been missing its Divine Mother all its life. And now that I realized who I am, and that my brain is a child that's here to serve me, and it will, as long as I, the mind, care and love for it. I know it sounds dualistic, but it's not. It's like the unconscious and the conscious merging together, where the brain is 10% conscious, but the mind is 90% conscious, and it's all spiritual. But once those two come together is, where I felt like I was whole. And what you're saying sounds exactly like what I went through as well, in just different beautiful words. Thank you, Jen.
So I wanted to go just a little bit back to when Art was talking about music. And of course, it made me think of this particular stanza from Leonard Cohen's song Hallelujah. Now I've heard there was a sacred chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. I just wanted to sing.
That's such a good song.
It's such a great song. He wrote 17 verses. Eventually were published, but he wrote many more than that just never were fit for him. And he spent, he often would spend up to a decade on a song before he would put it out. So he was just kind of off the scale. I was really happy to get to co-lead Who by Fire at Yom Kippur services from the Bima from the podium. That's just such a fun song to get people going with. It's absolutely brilliant. So Jen, we're over the hour and a half. Do we want to let it drift on, or was this a good closing point, or what do you think?
I'm good. I'm good either way. What is everybody else feeling? If we have energy and the initiative for another 20 minutes together, or does everybody feel like we're in a good closing space? What's the feels?
I'm good either way.
Same here.
No need to end and no need to continue.
I don't know if Rebel wants to say anything, or Billy.
Yeah, John, have you had your coffee? Are you human yet?
Are you human, John?
I've had my coffee.
I'm human, but I'm drifting off into places. I don't know if this is the
A reverie.
context.
He's drifting off into a reverie.
No, we're putting him to sleep.
No. It's the theme is playing through. I had this dream like 2 nights ago, and about 5 years ago, I had one of my. I asked my teacher this. It's Aurora Borealis song. It's a Lakota song, and I didn't know why I was asking, but I was just kind of obsessed with it. She said she couldn't remember it, and then it came back to me, and I don't know what the reason was for it, except I think about a year ago was when I had what I can only define as a psychopomp dream. And my heart chakra opened my solar plexus, and anyway, so I woke up, and I think I said this in another room last week, but it was like, what the fuck is that about? I mean, I don't have any relationship or desire to be a psychopomp. For those who aren't familiar with the word, it's guiding souls into the where they're supposed to go when they die. Sometimes get confused and kind of caught, and can get into mischief. Anyway, so I've had a couple of dreams since then, and 2 days ago, this song came back to me, and so I'm waking up and going, well, this is a fuller, I mean, it was a much fuller dream. It was less symbolic and more of an actual narrative to it. So I get on my computer and go, I'll play with artificial intelligence. And so I ask it about a Yuwipi song and the Aurora Borealis and Psychopomp. And it puts it all together and says that they sort of naturally belong together. Now, I don't know why this is. I still have no clue other than I did have an experience with my aunt who died in the last 3 months from Alzheimer's, and she was 98, and just an absolutely beautiful woman in many respects. And she was confused, and I hugged her, and we drifted off, and I kind of believe that maybe it was just for that alone. I don't know, but the fact that it happened 2 days ago, and then the AI thing was just mind-blowing. I mean, when I woke up 2 days ago, I was in a lot of pain in all my joints in my body, and I started singing this Aurora Borealis song, and by the time I was through, all the pain was gone. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm still kind of processing at different levels, and somehow I didn't want to talk about it when the room first opened because it just didn't feel right. And so since you kind of called me out of my, as Billy says, reverie, I figured that was a call to kind of explain. It's still a mystery to me, kind of like why this is going on. But I guess more is to be revealed. I can't control or see. I've been trying to do dream yoga, and I can't call it up. It just in its own time. And I know why I went off into this dream. It was talking about parts and the sort of the origin of parts, and I feel like there's this part of me that's emerging, and maybe another part's calling it into being. I mean, I don't know if it ever existed before, or it's been. I mean, I do believe parts can be created by circumstances, and parts can change and even update their own belief systems and rework some of their memories without. I know people that when I work with people with full DID, the main concern was you're not going to integrate me and my parts will die. And so I think the parts stay, but they can evolve. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's where I'm at. Don't know why I brought it up, but since I was called, I figured I needed to pass it on.
You know, I wonder, we were talking about sympathetic frequencies, musical notes, is the frequencies that you've been attenuating your mind to, that's opening it up. Coupled with that, knowing that we do have, with Jordan in the room, of course, we do have 9 different forms of psilocybin chemical in our brains. We also have dimethyltryptamine, which is DMT. It's inside of our pineal glands. And there's certain frequencies, meditations, chants that can release it, but also thoughts. And when we tune into different frequencies, the expansion of the mind could very well be releasing your own perfect form of psilocybin that's bringing you into these deeper thoughts of understanding that, like in the Josh Groban song, Let Me Fall, if I will fall, I'll be the one who catches me. I won't worry, I won't heed your warning. The phoenix inside will rise and catch me when I fall. I wonder if that's what it is, because you allowed yourself to be attenuated to different frequencies, that it's waking up the kundalini or the phoenix inside of you, returning finally back to me type of scenario.
That just reminds me of a book that I read, I think when I was 13 or something, about a phoenix and how much it at least at that point in my life, I was just fascinated by the phoenix and didn't know why, other than it just hit something inside me. So, well, that's nice. I'll play with that.
Listen to that song by Josh Groban. It sounds really melancholy and sad, but it's not. He says, I will hold on to, you can join me too if you let go and let go of the chains that bind you. And he says, I will go on dancing, holding on to no one. It's the most beautiful song about coming into yourself. But it sounds like it's a sad song. It's called Let Me Fall by Josh Groban.
Let Me Fall by Josh Groban.
Groban. He's kind of like a...
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a Leonard Cohen boy. Leonard Cohen saw him as a bit of a prodigy and took him under his wing.
Thanks, I'll check it out today.
Me too. Thank you, Ian.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. You inspired me. As did you, Art. Well, as did Pam. Oh my goodness. All of you.
Oh, and I think that Aurora Borealis not only being a very, very old Lakota song, I think is probably because it's the aurora borealis is shifting along with Earth shifts that are going on.
Oh man, I really caught some flack from a professional futurist friend of mine when I reposted that video about maybe these amazing aurora sightings far more southerly than normally ever happens, and it wasn't even a class 5. I gotta go.
So, not only the aurora borealis, but the Schumann resonance, which is the frequency of the Earth, it's speeding up. In like a shake plate that you stand on that vibrates your body. Nikola Tesla created a technology that could negate frequencies of diseases in the body, and he would tune this shake plate to negate those frequencies, which would kill the frequency of the disease. The Schumann resonance is the frequency of the Earth, and it's been constant for a very long time. But recently, more and more, it's been speeding up exponentially compared to how much it's remained relatively the same. So we are standing on the Earth, and it's been vibrating at the same frequency. And with the frequency of the Earth, the Schumann resonance is what it's called in science, it's vibrating our bodies at a different frequency that is affecting us. What you just said, Rebel, reminded me of that.
Well, apparently every 6,000 years or so, the magnetic poles do an excursion, they wander, and then they might completely flip on a much larger scale than that. But if this one that happens every 6,000 years happens soon, that will just, add to everything that's going on and make things incredibly difficult. So this one video was suggesting that we are at the beginning of this wandering excursion that'll happen by the early 2040s, and then I posted that somewhere and got a lot of flack for, repeating unscientific pseudoscience, and this guy is a total conspiracy account, and blah, blah, blah. But I do think it's kind of interesting that we've seen some of the most remarkable and beautiful and powerful auroras of our lifetimes. People all over the planet are seeing them, and, when is a harbinger a harbinger?
Well, Jordan, what if instead of making things difficult, from the perspective of our own old way of thinking, I don't think that would be false. But what if all these frequency changes are bringing us to a new perspective, a new understanding, and instead of things getting more difficult, it's making things easier? And if we're going to go into lore, what if this is what happened with the people of Lemuria and places like that? And every 6,000 years, there's a cycle where Mother Nature herself and Earth and the universe conspires together to wake up and bring us to that point of critical mass, to wake up all of humanity. So what if, instead of it making things quite a bit more difficult, as you said, is presented in a way that it's an awakening beyond our old ways of thinking that improves life for everybody?
Yeah, we're back to our old ways of thinking and being, like in the heart of the pandemic. It was so great to be outside without any
cars and bird populations were recovering. That was nice. But if this does happen, because we have planetary-wide electrical life in place, there will be a lot of additional disruptions on top of all of the other climate and problems that are already in gear right now.
Well, Mr. Elder was talking about the Lakotas, so let's go to the Hopis. And the prophecy of the Hopis, it talks exactly about what you're talking about, but in a hopeful and beautiful way. And it talks about the people of the rainbow that are here and ready to assist humanity into the new beginning beyond the old. It's a Hopi story that I got to live with them in 2016 when I was helping out with the oil stuff, the protest. I was out there getting sprayed with cold water in the wintertime, but I got invited to stay with the Hopis, and they have 3 mesas, and on the 3rd mesa is where all the knowledge is kept. And I got to learn about these beautiful premonitions that have all come true. And we're on the last one now, where everything shifts, and there's rainbow children all over the world that is going to make this transition very comfortable and very pleasing for all of humanity. So if you're looking for hope in this big shift that's happening, read the Hopi prophecy.
Well, I hope you're right.
Beautiful. Hope with Hopi's giving hope. I mean, one of those things that makes you wonder if we're in a simulation.
Well, when nothing feels real, how can we think it isn't? And nothing really does feel natural. But I don't think that this is a simulation at all. I think it's us living the dream of a nightmare out loud. But I think it's a very real nightmare, but I do believe that it's going to end very soon, within my lifetime. But until then, I can see how it seems like a simulation, because it hardly seems real at all.
Yeah, or maybe synchronicity is a more appropriate word with the Jung talk.
Forever young. And am I the only one who, whenever I hear the words Aurora Borealis, I think of the Neil Young song? Like, every time, no matter what?
Not everybody's 64. But I did love that song that you sang, When I'm 64, on your 64th birthday. That was the cutest, most uplifting thing I saw from that day on to the next 7 days, by the way, Jordan.
Well, I'm glad I could be of some help. So, it's 11 o'clock. I think now we should probably close this down. I know I have to actually focus on work things to take the cats in and do that. So, how would you feel about me taking us out, Jen?
Sounds good, Jordan. I'm always so grateful to spend time with you beautiful humans. I love and respect and adore you so much, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, this was great. So I'm going to say the little ditty that I like to say, and then whoever would like to, we invite you to unmic, and we're going to ohm out, and you can ohm for more than one round if you like. May this act and all acts be dedicated unto the complete liberation and supreme enlightenment of all beings everywhere permitting space and time. May the benefits of practice, ours and others, come to fruition ultimately and immediately, and we remain in the state of presence. Thanks, everybody. I think
Love you all.
and the room. Take
Love
care.
you all. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Somebody else muted your ass, girl. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's why you're on my PCR now. You
Oh my goodness.
Christian energy, right?
But you know what? This is what you know. This is the thing we gotta understand when it comes to when women feel threatened. When women feel threatened by a certain what they'll do. This is what they'll do. They'll come in a room